Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Monday and I am so excited to talk about this case, which I'm sure most of you have seen on Netflix, this new series. It's trending. It's called Inventing Anna, and it talks about Anna Delvey and how she conned all these people into believing that she was a socialite and this really wealthy heiress who had this inheritance, and she really managed to fool basically everybody she came across in New York. So let's get into it and see all the crazy things that she did and how she became Anna Delvey and really got away with it for a good period of time.
Anna Delvey, a mysterious heiress, stepped into the New York social life scene in early 2016. At the time, she had over 40,000 followers on Instagram and claimed to have a $67 million trust fund from her billionaire father. Anna made her home in some of the city's most luxurious hotels and was dressed in the latest fashions. She took trips on...
So let's jump right on into this mess. Anna Delvey's real name is actually Anna Sorokin, and she's born January 23rd, 1991 in a small satellite working class town southeast of Moscow. Her father is a truck driver for his trade, and her mother is actually the owner of a very small convenience store in that area before she ultimately becomes a housewife. During her childhood, Anna was described by her classmates as being a wonderful and excellent student who is like super strong-willed in her character, but they also say that she would very easily offend others with the things she would say and do. She would come across as very rude and just offensive. So later in her life, when she's about 16 years old, the family actually relocates to Germany, and she would attend this girls' school, and they said that she was very quiet and standoffish and wasn't as sociable as the other girls were. So in 2011, Anna actually relocates, and she relocates to London to attend Central St. Martin's, but she actually eventually would quit and return back to Germany before ultimately relocating to Paris, where she works at this French magazine named Purple. And it's around this time when Anna starts referring to herself as Anna Delvey, and it's said that her parents say that they never ever recognized that surname, so they're not sure where she actually came up with that name from or even where she would have got it from. So in 2013, Anna actually makes a move to New York permanently because she says that she finds it much easier to make friends in New York than in Paris. So she briefly works at Purple's, the magazine's, New York center for a little bit of time. And during her time in New York, this is when she starts coming up with this Anna Delvey Foundation idea. And she's going all around at these social events and proposing this idea to big socialites in the area and on the social scene, such as Abby Rawson and Rue Rogers. And she also makes a proposal for the church's mission center to be used for a venue as for art shows as well as other special events. So she really is, at this point in her life, going out of her way to get away from just working at this magazine and going to fashion shows, because I believe at this point, she sees all these wealthy people at these events, and I feel like she got so obsessed with that lifestyle that she was in her mind thinking, I'm going to live this life no matter what it takes. And that's how she came up with the idea to start faking it and telling people she's this wealthy heiress and really starting her big scheme. So Anna's having really low success pitching her idea for her Anna Delvey Foundation. So she actually goes to Citibank, and this is where she begins her fake, whole thing with money. She goes here and she tells Citibank that she has access to about 60 million euros in Swiss bank accounts. And she prints out all these fake documents to show them that she has this money. While Citibank denies her request, and they tell her that she just hasn't provided enough proof that she has the funds or proof of access to these funds. So at that time, she goes over to another bank named Fortress Bank, and they actually partially agree to give her the money that she's asking for. And they tell her, in order for us to give you a loan, we're going to need $100,000, to show us like as good faith money. And at this point, she goes back to Citibank and tells them that she needs to borrow $100,000 now, and she promises that she will return this money quickly. So one of the employees at Fortress Bank, he really becomes growingly suspicious of Anna's application, and it's because of all these discrepancies in her paperwork. It really starts to get him thinking. On her paperwork, it says that she's of a German heritage, yet her passport shows her as being a Russian. When the director proposes to go to Switzerland to meet with these bank directors over there to verify everything to do with Anna's application for that $22 million loan, she actually withdraws her application completely to avoid them finding out the truth about her and gaining any more scrutiny. So she actually checks into this Soho hotel on Howard, where the concierge and all the people at the desk, they're saying she is this great guest. She's given them $100 bills for super simple tasks. And at this point, the hotel is realizing that she has no card on file. I'm not sure how that even happened, but she has no card on file. So they're like, Anna, we're going to need you to settle this $30,000, debt you have with this hotel before you can continue to stay here like this. During the same time, she is actually able to deposit about $166,000 worth of fraudulent checks into her Citi bank account, and she wires her debt she owes to the hotel, but they're still like, no, you can't come back and stay here, and they keep her out because she still refused to put a legitimate credit card on file with them. She also is spending this money like crazy on designer clothing and all types of luxury trips. She was only able to use about $70,000 of usable funds out of that $166,000 that she deposited, but she also manages around this exact moment to convince this flight group to allow her to book this private flight to Omaha, Nebraska without even paying the $35,000 that's owed up front. In 2017, Anna's going on this trip back to Morocco, and she brings 3 friends along and tells them this is going to be an all expense paid trip. I'm going to bring you guys with me, and I'm really just going back to Morocco on business. And they go and they stay at this super fancy luxury hotel, and right away, the hotel's like, you know what, we're not able to charge these cards. The bill's really racking up. Anna convinces her friend who's with her, Rachel Williams, to pay a $62,000 bill. That's right, $62,000 for this hotel that they're at. And she says, Rachel, I'm going to pay you back. I'm good for it. And promises her a wire transfer like she's been promising everyone else. Anna's really staying at all types of different hotels while she's out in Morocco, and they're getting screwed over too. She owes them outstanding debts. One of them, she owes them over $11,000, and she owes this New York hotel a bunch of money too. The police in Manhattan were actually investigating, Anna at this time for fraud. So shit's about to hit the ceiling for her, because little does she know, while she's running around doing fake transfer promises and staying in all these places and doing all these trips, the police are already on to her, and they're really, keeping a good eye on Anna at this time and starting to look into everything she does. On December 18th, 2018, Anna actually appears before a New York criminal court where she turns down her plea deal that was offered to her, which would have given her between 3 to 9 years in prison for the crimes that she committed. So during her whole court, it's really ridiculous how her attorneys actually was demanding at this time that a professional stylist style Anna, because it was super important that she dressed appropriately for all of her court appearances. The prosecution really said that Anna seemed to care more about her looks and still portraying a socialite than she ever cared about all the people that she hurt. And for the victims of the people who loaned her all this money, that they never saw sent back. On one occasion, Anna actually attempted to not go to court because she refused to appear in her prison outfit, and her civilian outfit that she had planned for that day had not been pressed, so she didn't feel that she was suitable enough to appear in court. Well, good thing the judge saw past that bullshit, and he tells her, Anna, you know what, you still have to come. This is a trial. So sorry for you that your clothing wasn't up to par, but you're still coming for this trial. So on April 25th, 2019, after deliberating for 2 days, a jury finds Anna guilty of 8 charges, which include grand larceny and theft, in the second degree, attempted grand larceny, and theft of services. Sorokin was found not guilty of 2 other charges, one of attempted grand larceny in the first degree, relating to the original loan application with City National Bank, and one of larceny in the second degree, relating to the alleged theft of the $62,000 from her friend Rachel Williams, which happened in Moscow. So on May 9th, 2019, Anna was given a sentence of 4 to 12 years in state prison, and she was fined $24,000, which is a super low amount for all the money that she really stole from all these different people and all of the services which she got for free. She was also ordered to pay restitution in the amount of about $199,000, which is still such a small dent in all the money that she got from fraud. But Sorokin was incarcerated at Rikers Island during the trial, and after the trial, Sorokin of New York State Department's Corrections was initially housed in the Bedford Hills Correctional Facility before being transferred to another correctional facility in New York. So Anna's actually released in February of 2021.
We believe that an appropriate sentence would be 4 to 12. She altered her personal identity documents. She repeatedly neglects such premeditation. It's an indication that there is a great risk that the defendant, once she is released from incarceration, that she will simply go out and attempt to perpetrate a similar scheme again. And then the support the idea that she seemed to be basking in the press attention rather than thinking seriously about the crimes that she had committed and how they had affected people. She had a friend of hers tweet who would be her preferred actress to play her in the movie version of her life. She was not reflecting on the harm that she had caused to the financial institutions.
So Anna's actually released from prison in February of 2021, and in March of 2021, she's actually turned over to Immigration and Customs, where she would ultimately be deported back to Germany. So the New York's Attorney General's office actually sues Anna at this time in 2019 because they're using the Son of Sam's law, which prohibits people who were convicted of crimes from profiting from publicity which it may or may not receive. They also order Anna that any profits that she makes from Netflix, that it's actually to be paid to the debt that she owes to her victims. Anna receives about $320,000 from Netflix for her likeness and from them telling her story, basically. Since then, there's been several books written about Anna, one named My Friend Anna, and her stories appeared on several popular outlets and as well as magazines. So what do you guys think about Anna's ability to portray this wealthy socialite and live the life? And do you think that her punishment was severe enough? Let me know what everybody thinks. I personally feel that her sentence was considerably light, considering all the money that she actually stole and all of the hotels she really screwed over by staying there and having people wait on her hand and foot and never ever paying anything to them. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you all did, and if you liked it, please remember to subscribe to my channel. I upload on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you all next time.
Old people's stupidity.
Do you feel bad about some of the people that got burnt along the way?
Can you name me the names of the people? And I'll tell you if I feel bad about them.
It's not easy interviewing a skilled charlatan. You've been described as a con woman. Very good con artist.
I don't see myself as such.
You don't think you've conned anybody?
No.
Anna's refusal to acknowledge wrongdoing is disconcerting, but her willingness to talk about herself does give an insight into the mind of the fraudster. She could even, unknowingly, help us make sense of our own cons. Melissa Caddick and Belle Gibson.
I'm not this person who is like trying to trick her way into stuff. Like,